What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JP again, back with another video, and today I got a banger for y'all. This is the all-new LG K92 5G. This is the one sold, obviously, by Cricket Wireless. It's also available at AT&T. It's supposed to come out for US Cellular at some point, too. Not sure when. That's actually a carrier that's not available in my region. But nonetheless, this is also the first, to my knowledge, Snapdragon 690 5G powered phone. It's the same processor that's supposed to be powering the OnePlus N10, the OnePlus Nord N10 5G, which is slated to come out in the U.S. Again, it's, it was announced a couple weeks ago, that Nord N10, but it hasn't hit retail yet. The K92 5G beat it to market, so to me, it's, as far as I know, it is the first with the all new Snapdragon 690 5G processor, and there's a lot to talk about with that chipset, and I'm gonna try to jam it all in here. Without making this a super long video. But before I go further, let me just get this part out here right quick. This phone is it's a huge triple major go, however you want to say it. This phone is a win. This phone is a win, especially if you were on Cricket Wireless. AT&T for that matter. If you're just looking for an affordable 5G phone, the AT&T model, I think actually costs like $30 more than the Cricket Wireless version. Which actually kind of works in your favor if you're getting it from Cricket, because a lot of times when you order from Cricket, you have to add a plan to it. Even if you're in the middle of a plan, you're already a customer. And you can just kind of get away with just adding the cheap $30 plan, even if it's not the plan you're on, if you're already with them, because all it does is just add to your balance or subtract from your balance, however you want to say it. So if you choose that $30 plan, because again at Cricket online you have to select the plan, but because you're not going in store, you don't have to pay that $25 activation fee. So you end up getting it for about the same price AT&T sells it for. Again, and you end up with with $30 at least, going towards your account, for your next month's bill or whatnot. So keep that in mind whenever you order from Cricket Wireless. I don't think AT&T makes you purchase a plan. With the phone, if you're already a customer and you're in the middle of a cycle, correct me if I'm wrong. I use AT&T myself, but I'm actually going to switch to Cricket as my primary. I'm switching back to Cricket, and this is why. They have 5G. I actually have already been using 5G on Cricket, not from this phone. I just got this in today. Today's Monday. I think it's November 9th or something like that, 2020. And I actually had already gotten an iPhone 12 from Cricket because they had a $100 off deal on that. So I had picked up an iPhone 12. So I've been able to test Cricket's 5G with that phone, and it works just as good as AT&T. It's just as fast. Of course, this phone you're only going to get sub-6 low band. The iPhone 12 actually has a millimeter wave, and Cricket has that's my Chihuahua in the background there, y'all. Bless you, Peanut. Don't mind him. For all of you Flossie Carter fans there with his cat white shoes, my Chihuahua has white feet. But I definitely can't call him white shoes, but anyways, just a fun fact there about myself there. If I haven't already discussed that in another video, I have. I just can't remember which one. But the iPhone 12 with Cricket does have millimeter wave capabilities, but And Cricket themselves, when they launched 5G, they didn't just get access to AT&T's Sub-6. They also have access to AT&T's 5G Plus, as they like to call it, which is their millimeter wave. And Peanut, calm down. Calm down. But I'm sorry, y'all. I love that dog. You wouldn't know it. He's 13 years old. You couldn't even tell. That dog has so much energy still. It's freaking amazing. But he's loud, too. He has no filter. But anyways, yeah, the Cricket does have access to millimeter wave. When AT&T gave Cricket access to their 5G, they got the whole 5G. They may even have access to the fake 5G. Well, they probably already had access, but rather not, you actually get the icon for their fake 5G. Their, y'all know, you know what I'm talking about. Their Advanced Pro LTE, as it's actually called, LTE Advanced Pro. But of course, in my area, all I have is Sub-6 low band 5G NR with AT&T, anyways. Not millimeter wave. So my iPhone 12 has been tested on nothing but, low band 5G. Works just as good as AT&T, just as fast. And now I'm going to tell y'all a secret, too, about getting it to work with unlocked 5G phones. But first, let's get to this phone right here, because I've already rambled on enough. Quadruple 64 megapixel AI rear camera setup. I love the way they have this array set up here. Even has quadruple a quadruple flash setup, if you will. Very, very unique setup here, honestly. And I haven't really been able to test it, but on paper, it seems to be a better camera system than even the LG Velvet 5G, which only has a triple, and it's a 48 megapixel. It's a quad with 64, and it even has quad flash. But again, it's it's quality over quantity, as we always talk about when we're specifically talking about phones like the Pixels, as many of you know. This phone also, I think this phone is also compatible with Quick Charge 4.0. Don't quote me on that. There's a lot of phones that have the processor for Quick Charge 3.0 and above, but it's not actually activated, and it'll still only use 3.0 or below. But I think I read that this phone does use Quick Charge 4.0. Now, whether or not the wall charger right there is a Quick Charge 4.0, that's a different story. I'm not sure on the wattage and stuff like that, but you got your USB Type-C cable there right next to it there in white, USB-A to USB Type-C, or, however you want to say it there. I'll check the... I'll let people in the comments tell me. Let me see if I can do a close-up on this and let y'all tell me what that is there. Kind of let y'all look at me. Because even though it says fast charge in the front, that's not telling you which version it is. I mean, this could just be Quick Charge 2.0 for all we know. Because LG also has its own name. Instead of Qualcomm Quick Charge, it's LG Fast Charge. But we know it's the same thing. But anyways, if someone wants to jump in the comments there and let me know if I'm right or wrong, please do. Another thing I like about this phone over the Velvet is that it has the more modern punch hole design versus the notch. But it's a flat LCD panel instead of the curved. Of course, the Velvet was also OLED, but this phone is significantly cheaper. But I do love the flat display and the more modern punch hole design. It's 6.7 inches versus the 6.8 of the Velvet. But again, the Velvet, you weren't getting that complete 6.8 inch real estate because it was dual edge, and it was a pretty how do you say it? It was a pretty dramatic edge on that phone too, kind of like the Motorola Edge and a lot of the Huawei phones. Well, not as dramatic, but with Huawei's waterfall displays, as they like to call them. But don't let the LCD panel fool you. It is gorgeous. I haven't had it long enough to really know if it's as good as my favorite LCD. If y'all saw my last video, the Xiaomi Mi 10T, definitely my favorite LCD screen. that also has a much, much, much higher refresh rate. This, I think, is just a standard 60, but it's blazing fast, though. I mean, it's smooth for what it is. For the price, I mean, I really don't think there's going to be any complaints on this phone. I mean, this phone is fantastic, and I've only been using it for a couple of hours. Again, if I didn't already say it, it's 1080. 1080p, 1080 plus, however you want to say it. It's a 20:9 aspect ratio. Let's see. You do have the side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Not quite as fast as the Mi 10T, but it more than just gets the job done. It works very well. Beautiful color, I might add. I'm not sure. It's something gray or whatever. But here's your USB Type-C, your speaker, your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Again, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And other side is your volume rocker and your power key there. They actually, no, that's not the power. The fingerprint sensor doubles as the power key. Sorry, y'all. This, I think, is a Google Assistant button. It is. Okay. All right. I was right. That's cool. Awesome. And you got your SIM tray there. It does have expandable memory, but it has standard 128 gigs internal. It has 6 gigs of RAM. Again, this all matches the OnePlus Nord N10 5G because the N10 5G is OnePlus's first phone with an LCD screen. It's not even as big as this. I think it's a 6.44 or 6.5 something inch display. This is a 6.7. That one is still 1080. It has 128 gigs internal, and it's also OnePlus's first phone with expandable memory, which this obviously has in typical LG fashion. And they also both have 6 gigs of RAM and the all-new Snapdragon 690 5G. Honestly, if you own Cricket, even if the OnePlus Nord N10 5G was available already, if you were on Cricket, you'd be dumb not to choose this over that. I mean, granted, this does have Android 10, not 11, but the more I talk, I just reminded myself the OnePlus Nord N10, according to his press release last week, will have Android 10 out of the box, not 11, which you would think it would, because that's typical OnePlus fashion. But nope, from what I read, it's gonna have Android 10. I'm sure that will get updated to Android 11 before this will. But hey, the door is always open for LG to correct me on that. I would absolutely love it, and I will definitely not admit fault there. But I mean, by all means, do it. Push it out tomorrow. Prove me wrong. But of course, LG's not terrible on their updates, though. They're better than a lot of other companies, I will say. But the kicker with the K92 5G, and the reason why I keep going back to the Snapdragon 690 5G chipset is if you notice, Qualcomm had also came out with the Snapdragon 750G, but not a standard 750. Usually when they have a G, it's assumed that there's a standard version. But no, there's just the 750G, no 750. Well, the 690 here, which doesn't have a G variant, I think is basically the non-G 750. They both have the Adreno 619 GPU. Of course, this one is labeled as 619L. Obviously, it's slower. I'm sure that's a given. The most impressive thing out of the two processors is that they actually use Cortex-A77 CPUs, which is the same CPU technology behind the Snapdragon 865. If you follow me here, the Snapdragon 765, 765G, and the very elusive 768G that's only used in one phone, I think. They all use, don't let the higher number fool you, 765 compared to 750, because those that I just named out, the 765, 765G, and 768G, use Cortex A76 cores. What does that mean? That means a couple of things. The the Snapdragon 765 series, that includes those three that I just said. I'll just leave it at that, 765 series. Because the 768G is just a bumped up 765G, which is just a bumped up 765. Yes, they do have the Adreno 620, not the 619, but think about that for a minute. Could the GPU really have that much of a difference if the number is only turned down? I mean, it's literally the difference of one digit. I mean, I don't think that I really doubt that the 765 that the 765 family, their GPU is really going to do anything that the 690 and 750G Adreno can't do. And these also have the much more updated CPUs, the Cortex-A77 versus the A76s. To put it in Qualcomm terms, let me put it like this, because Qualcomm likes to use custom cores. The Snapdragon 865 and 865 Plus, which is Qualcomm's current, premium flagship processor, they use Kryo, however you pronounce it. They use the Kryo 585. Okay, the Snapdragon 750 is Kryo 875. I'm sorry, y'all. 8. They use the Kryo. I'm trying to keep up. There's so many different so much terminology here. The Snapdragon 865 and 865 Plus use Qualcomm's custom Kryo 585 cores. Okay. The all-new Snapdragon 750G uses the Kryo 575 cores, while the 650 found here on this phone uses the 570 Kryo cores. Okay, so you got 585, 575, and 570 for the Kryo cores, which are basically just Cortex A77 based. The lower the number basically means it's less powerful. Makes perfect sense in that regard. Not so much the Snapdragon numbers, more so the Kryo numbers, because the Snapdragon numbers are all over the place, just like MediaTek. And you can't really always pay those attention, because the higher number doesn't always mean that it's a better chipset. You have to look at it as a whole. Sorry, I had to snap it peanut there. But again, the Snapdragon 690 found here has the Kryo 570, whereas the 750G is the Kryo 575. A five digit difference. 570 versus 575 for those that don't know math. Sorry, I'm not trying to assume that anyone's stupid. I'm more or less doing it for myself to have everyone follow me here. Because it's math, I've probably just made it boring. But that 5 digit difference would definitely signify, I'm sure, that because the 750G is expected to be more powerful than the 690. They were released around the same time. And they both have the Adreno, 619. Of course, the 690 is a L variant. I'm sure that just means lower speed or whatever. Makes sense again. But these basically have way more in common. Basically, where I'm getting at, these have way more in common with the Snapdragon 865 and 865 Plus than the 7. These have more in common with the Snapdragon 865 and 865 Plus, in my opinion. Really, it's a fact. It's not even an opinion. It's a fact that these have more. That the 690 here and the 750G have more in common with the 865 Plus than they do with the 765G and the 768G. These are much, because those have, because I didn't get to those yet. Those all use the Kryo 400 series. I think, what are they, like 460 or 480, something like that? Yeah, I think they're like Kryo 480, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's really what you need to know. The 765, 765G, and 68G or Kryo 400 series Cortex-A76s. Whereas the 690, 750G, they use the 500 series Kryo Cortex-A77s like the Snapdragon, the Holy Grail, the premium flagship processor, I mean, as of right now, anyways, here in November, that's going to change shortly, but, the 865 Plus. So, you're getting a freaking great package, is where I'm getting at here. I mean, and I've already rambled over 20 minutes, so, I guess I messed up again there, but, I hope this at least gave you a lot of information here. This phone is blazing fast. It works great. I didn't set the app drawer yet. That's why I keep doing that there. But yeah, the phone is very snappy. And the screen is just outright gorgeous for an LCD. You will really like it. It gets very bright. It has a 4,000 milliamp battery. As I said, I think it has Quick Charge 4.0. I know it at least has 3.0. I'm sure. I'd be really surprised if it didn't. But 5G on Cricket has been great. If y'all are wondering, Cricket on their website, they say that you can only get 5G with them if you get one of their compatible devices. The Galaxy A51 5G that they do sell quietly, I might add. They never really announced it. Also, the Galaxy S20 Plus 5G. And obviously the iPhone 12 series. You have to buy those to get 5G on Cricket, and that's not true. That's not true. If you have an unlocked phone, like a lot of these Xiaomi's that I have tested this too on the Mi 10T. If you put a Cricket SIM card in the phone and it shows 5G, and you are on the $60 plan. If you go into the APNs and change it from Indio to eIndio, you will get 5G. But you have to be on that $60 plan, because if you're on the lower plans, it'll show 5G, but you won't get 5G speeds. You'll still only get the capped speeds for LTE. But as far as not only showing 5G, but actually getting 5G speeds, you have to be on Cricket's $60 plan. And you just have to change your APN setting from Indio to eIndio. And everything else stays the same. And you'll get 5G with 5G speeds on Cricket. And I'm sure that works for millimeter wave as well, if you happen to be in an area that has AT&T millimeter wave. I don't. Maybe at some point in 2021, I'm sure. We'll see. But I hope that helps somebody out there. I did find that out, and I did test it. I've proven it. I've tested. Well, I mean, I don't have a video proving it, but I've tested it with my Xiaomi Mi 10T, and I can confirm it. Y'all, Peanut has been acting up this whole video. I'm so sorry for all that background noise. Yeah, you, buddy, you. But anyways, really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Sorry it's so long. I said it wouldn't be, but there was so much to talk about on this phone. I know the math for 5 minutes there probably got boring, but I really had to get that out. It's a fantastic phone, all new processor. What makes me so excited about it too is a lot of times, manufacturers forget about the latest mid-range chipsets. They're so focused on making sure they have the latest flagship processors in their latest phones, but they never seem to use the latest mid-range chipsets until the next year when their successor is fixing to come out, when that chipset successor is fixing to come out. Oh, well, we're going to put that other one, and we're going to put the last one in our latest mid-range phone. They never really follow suit like they do with their flagships. They have this year, because it's been a race to 5G. That's what this year has been. It's been a race to 5G. Who can offer a 5G phone at the most affordable price? So that's why you have a crap ton of phones that have the Snapdragon 765 in them. It's because it was a race to 5G, as I've said many times in other videos of mine. If the 765 if it wasn't 5G capable, if it wasn't about 5G, you would still have phones coming out with the with the 730 You would still have phones coming out with, with the 710. You would have phones coming out still with the 675. And if you really look, you haven't had many phones come out with the 675. You've had a couple. You've had a couple come out with the 730, not just the Pixel 4a. Not so much the 710 because that came out 2 years ago, so everyone was putting those in their phones last year. The only phone that I can really think of that was of a significant release, anyways, that had the 710 was the non 5G Motorola Razr that came out back in January. But yeah, this phone right here is LG nailed it out of the park with this phone here. Don't wait for the Nord N10 5G. Get this phone right here. If you're on AT&T, get from AT&T. If you're on Cricket, get it from Cricket, obviously. I'm going to look into getting this phone unlocked. No one knows really if LG is going to offer it unlocked. They're normally pretty good about doing so, but I haven't heard anything. But like I said, y'all, latest LG K92 5G, Snapdragon 690, Cortex-A77, Kryo 500 series CPU, Adreno 619, which I don't even care about the L. I don't even care about the one digit off from the 620. I promise you this graphics chip can do everything that the 765's graphics chip can do. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. Seriously. That's one thing I know for a fact no one's going to be able to prove me wrong on. But anyways, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I really rushed to bring this video to y'all. I had just got the phone in. Y'all know my videos aren't reviews anyways. They're overviews. So it makes sense to do it right when I get it. Where I haven't. I've had a little bit of time to make sure it's not glitchy and make sure it's not, defective. I really wanted to bring this phone to y'all really, really fast. I wanted to be one of the first. So I hope y'all have at least appreciated it and the information. Not so much enjoyed the video, but the information. But anyways, y'all, again, this is probably the third or fourth time I'm saying it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, and peace out.